Hey, welcome back to Fix My Hog. I'm Mike Rowan. We've partnered with Dennis Kirk on this Evolution refresh project, so let's get started. You look at the tires, boy, the tread looks good, but sidewalls are deteriorating. These tires are, probably over 30 years old. So you get your little list going in Dennis Kirk, you start adding, you got tires, you got tubes, you got rim strips. We're going to be doing the wheel bearings. You need wheel seals. You're going to take a look at the front brake pads. What do they look like? More importantly, if you're doing the maintenance, spokes. If you got a bike with spokes, you got a bike you're going to be doing a lot of maintenance on. So check them out. Fork oil, obviously, that's part of the routine maintenance. If you're looking at the manual, get the fork oil, get your little drain screw, brass washers. You got O-rings up here for the fork cap bolt. Put that on your list. Moving forward, obviously you're going to be doing oil filter. You got primary oil, tranny oil. That's all routine stuff. Obviously spark plugs. If the bike's got a lot of time on it, probably want to update spark plug wires too. I mean, it's so simple to do on this, and the cost of a spark plug wire is cheap. This bike, we're going to be putting the Cool Guy Pingle petcock on it because we don't want to mess around with a very old petcock trying to rebuild it. We don't want to put a cheap one on there. So when we do we're going to be doing another top-end video on this bike. We'll be updating that as well. And of course, the fuel lines. This one, the crossover fuel line was completely deteriorated. I've already put a new one on there. The carburetor, I ordered up a carb kit. I kind of had to put that in there just to get the bike running. So if your bike's been sitting, you're definitely going to want to order a carb kit. They come with pretty much everything in there you're going to need. So put that on your list. Moving down the line, obviously this motorcycle needed a battery. It had been sitting so long, the other battery was junk. Went ahead and put a new maintenance-free battery in there, pretty slick. And of course, you're going to be wanting to look at the belt. This belt looks pretty good. It is 34 years old. If you were going to go out and rage on the thing and really ride it, you might want to consider a new belt, So it's something you're going to want to do an inspection on. If you've got a high mileage older motorcycle, you're going to be looking at the drive belt and the pulleys because you're not going to be putting a new belt on old pulleys. So it's just stuff you're going to want to really look at. So moving along here, obviously we'll be doing the rear wheel bearings. We'll be doing the spokes on the back, rear rubber. You're going to be looking at the rear brake pads. And there again, we ordered brake fluid for this bike because, the brake fluid's just really old and it deteriorated. You're going to be looking at the brake lines. If those rubber lines are deteriorated. Like I said, when you get a high mileage bike, a lot of times it kind of turns into a mini restoration, not just a tune and service. So it's something to think about. You look at the miles on the bike and you look at how long is this part going to last. These Heim joints obviously are in really good shape because this bike's so low mileage. But if you bought an old bike with 80,000 or 100,000 miles on it, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to be, going over going, oh, Heim joints wore out. I'm going to order one of them, So just common sense stuff. So, and of course, once you get the battery put in it, you're going to check all the electronics. Does the headlight high-low beam? Do I got a brake light? Do I need a brake light switch? The hydraulic switch, is that bad? Because you got to have a brake light on a motorcycle. It's pretty important. Turn signals, horn, just go down the whole list. It's pretty important stuff, to have a brake light working. So it's basically, if you're going by your manual, you're going to cover every base. So that's kind of the main thing. And if you look here at the table, we've got everything laid out. DennisKirk.com, go to their website. They pretty much got everything for your motorcycle. So check them out.